What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to post an update on the fish apartments. Now, don't mind, we're going to do this straight up back in the day style. And someone asked for this video with just commentary, so I'm going to kind of do it old school way at this point. So shout out to Sizzling Ice on Instagram for the video idea. Sorry I told you back in January I'd have an update, and it's been now March. Oh, hi March. I didn't even realize it was March yet. So, 150 gallon crashed twice in the last month and a half. Could you believe that? You probably could, because I have very bad luck. It is very well known throughout all of the people that know me that I have bad luck. Now, I did not realize my bad luck was my fault. I did not test my tap water. It's science. It's not luck. This isn't mythology. Come on now. So, tested the tap water, saw there was ammonia in my tap, realized I had been poisoning my aquarium. Each time you do a water change, if you're going to do a 50% like I like to do because I've got a messy tank with a big bio load, I do a 50% water change. I didn't realize that I wasn't checking my tap and killing my fish, thus causing parasites and all sorts of issues for myself. So if you live in the state of Wisconsin right now, through our deep freeze and our warm up and our deep freeze, we're going from 30 below zero to 30 degrees and then down to 0 degrees for 3 days and then back up to 24 degrees. You need to pay attention to those influxes. As it warms up, as it cools off, they will push chemicals through the tap water as it warms up before it freezes again. This normally happens 2 times a year, fall and spring. This has now happened over 6 times in the last 2 months alone, and I have tested water for 9 years. 9 years in the state of Wisconsin. Wapaka, Wyowega, Milwaukee, Madison, Neenah, Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh. I've got the state of Wisconsin covered for your water. Please take a look at your water test. I do not know where you live or what you might be doing, but if you're noticing that you clean your water and all of a sudden your fish are dying or the tank is cloudy, maybe it's coming out of the tap. You can't always trust your water resources around you just to be able to drink from and use for your animals. They're a lot smaller than you are. With that being said, I don't know if I necessarily trust drinking my tap either, so pay attention to that. Test your tap water. That's the preach I have. So the 150 gallon has gone through its mess. I've treated it with Riddick from Cordon. It's like malachite green or a malachite blue, or the mix a bunch of chemicals, and it wiped it all out because I was nervous. Only showed up after I did the water changes. My ammonia spiked. It burned off the slime coat on the fish, allowed for infection, and plecostomus are very easy hosts because they have lots of little bristles and needles to latch in between for a parasite to live in. So yeah, it's been a rough couple months, and that's why it hasn't been as active on the YouTube game. But nonetheless, we're back. We're going to do an update on the majority of the things. I'm going to get a little bit more into depth on the alligator lizards in a different playlist, I think. I think we're going to wait until I can actually do like a solid playlist, but I'm still going to cover the cages and everything. So let's take a look at the tanks and see what's going on. Alright, so this is the 150 gallon tank. The light's a little janky because it's just one bulb. I'm going to get a full extended LED over the top. Anyway, this is where all my plecos are for the most part, my big pleco collection. We're going to throw some food in there. Maybe I'll have a little clip at the very end of it so that way you can see that action going on. But yeah, I got my blue acara, my Salvini, cichlid, female, redfin pleco, chocolate cichlids, vulture catfish, wolffish, common pleco, rhino pleco, orange cheek pleco, bluefin, thresher pleco, bristlenose pleco, albino bristlenose pleco, Adonis pleco, vampire pleco, mustard spot pleco, tiger pleco. The list goes on. So we're going to see if I can actually get a full video of them all being out and feeding because they love their omega-1 pellets. So that is the 150 gallon tank. I'm sure we'll have a video of that sometime soon. So 150, I've got my Abrania gramineus setups. These are my Mexican alligator lizards. This is Cosmo's cage, and that is Wanda's cage over there. Cosmo is my male, obviously. Wanda is my female, both named after the Fairly Odd Parents characters because, well, she's a little bit crabby, and he is as as laid back and derpy as it gets for an alligator lizard that I've had. So, which isn't saying much because I've only got 4. But even still, I don't think she's out. Nope, she's not out. We'll take a look at the layout here real quick for you. So we've got driftwood. I'm going to extend up. We're going to have more driftwood up top or more Spanish moss like Cosmo has. I don't need to make Wanda feel like she's lesser than everyone else. But my bromelid, some simple plants in there, both live. I've got a bunch of eco earth to be able to sustain my humidity, my sphagnum moss for them to be able to lay in, and then on top of that they've got a leaf litter of white oak leaves to be able to, I mean, add for humidity and for control of, I don't know, it looks nice. I've got my Reptirain mister. I've got the fans on the side because they are native to the higher area mountainous regions in Mexico, just outside of Pueblo, I believe. And yeah, it's a very fun project. We're gonna go more into depth in them in a different video, so we'll come back with that. My 15 right now that is halfway filled. This is Blue. Blue is the electric blue jack Dempsey that I post quite often onto Facebook, on Instagram. Poor guy got the heck beat out of him by the pom-pom knifefish, as you can tell by that back tail there. But nonetheless, he's been very happy inside this setup, showing this very bright sky blue coloring. I also have hiding in here the rainbow wolffish, which is just my little guy. I've had him for months now. It's actually my first one I've had shipped in that's actually been doing well because they didn't have any tumor issue wrong with them. So that's just my simple little setup there for him. Nothing big or detrimental, just an easy spot to keep fish for the time being. I destroyed it because I had to remove a royal plecostomus out of here for my brother because I mean, you got to get fam all addicted to the fun, right? All right, so that's the 15. Blue, you're looking good. Let's go on over to Romeo and Juliet. The other 2 alligator lizards, let's see, is Romeo out? Of course he's out. This setup has a manzanita branch with Spanish moss, a bromelid for the plant, grape leaves down at the bottom, sphagnum moss, eco earth, of course, for the substrate, and then a Zilla waterfall to be able to make sure that they can see where the water is for drinking. But yeah, Romeo is such a defender, I tell ya. Can you come out without grabbing me? Nope. I don't mean you any harm. This is Romeo. Romeo recently has decided that he wants to look a little more dark green with less of the lower jaw. Now, I've been studying these guys to understand more and learn more so that way I know what the hell I'm doing. And let me tell you, Romeo changes from this dark color to lime green. He does brighten up a lot more. Depending upon his mood or what's going on. But right now he's in exile because Juliet hasn't been feeling too well. We believe that Juliet is actually pregnant and is hiding out because she's not feeling well. But she's kicked him out of the den for the last, gosh, 2 weeks now, buddy. You've been living in a tree? Pretty sure? 3 weeks you've been living in a tree? But yeah, so I'm assuming she's pregnant. We're going to see how that turns out because apparently they give birth between the months of March and June. So that is pretty exciting. We'll find out how that goes. But yeah, Reptirain mister on there with another fan, of course, for the breeze. They get crickets, mealworms, waxworms about 3 times a week, vitamin D3, calcium, and a bunch of vitamins and another supplement. So we'll cover. Luna is my mini Rex rabbit, not mine technically. That's hers to take care of, but even still, I don't mind her. Luna, you wanna pay attention? Yeah, you wanna pay attention to the camera? Yeah, I don't have nothing good for you, but I just wanted them to, you know, why she looks so sad? It's because mom's not home and she hasn't given her any hay. I can give you hay. You want some hay? All right, let's do this. Come on. Let's get some. Oh, you want some hay? Is this what you want right here? This stuff right? Is this what you want? Yep. All right. Bam. I overdid it because I'm better than mom is. You remember that. Enjoy that hay, okay? Now, with that being said, the one that knows that I'm not better than mom, what's up, Bear? How you been? This is Bear. This is my ferret. You guys met Bear a long time ago. Bear has not necessarily been in any videos. I gotta change your litter box, mother trucker. You've been pooping a lot too. Bear comes out for about 3 hours in a day. He's totally not cooped up in this little space, so I know it looks extra bad, but I treat Bear like my dog necessarily. So, very well behaved. I've raised him since he was the palm of my hand. So, you know, I'm not going to bother you if you want to just roam around right now, but just don't, like, spill my fish stuff. Can you do that? You won't do that. We're gonna wait. All right, Bear. that's Bear. Gotta include him. He's an animal in the fish room. So that is the main fish room with all the majority of the animals. Then we're gonna move on over. Of course, you gotta have a big old dehumidifying unit. I had this thing shut off for the video because it's too obnoxious, but you gotta have something good for the fish tanks. Otherwise, you'll want to deal with mold and all the issues I'm already dealing with. Here is the 90-gallon reef tank. Now, beautiful display. Love this tank. The fish in it, perfect. It is not the venomous tank I wanted, but if you take a look at the darker side of the tank, which we'll get to, I'm kind of working on stiff. So I'm up to no good as usual, which I always am up to no good, and that's okay, because you can do that in the hobby as long as it's not hurting anybody. So we have the Regal Angelfish. We can get the blues to calm down here. Is the newest addition to the tank. The Regal Angelfish has been a very difficult fish to feed. I do not recommend him to a novice keeper because he is extremely picky on his food and they will starve in your aquarium. That being said, he loves the heck out of omega-1 cichlid pellets, and I think it's just because he's been watching everybody else fight over them. So I'm lucky enough to have him feeding on those, and he transitioned over pretty well. He eats, I do feed spirulina, and he gets algae wafers, but he doesn't care for half of that sometimes. He'll pick a little bit at algae sheets, but yeah, omega-1 cichlid pellets, who would have thought? My two clowns, my bang-eyed cardinal, the harlequin tusk, the purple tang, the yellow tang, the two squirrelfish, the radiant urchins, in which case this one stung me just a couple of days ago. Let's focus on that. Yep, God bless. Let me tell you, that was a fun, let's almost pass out and think you gotta call the emergency room. So, beautiful display. Really like it. As of today, I've ruined it. Oh, we're gonna talk about that later. Not in this video. I'm gonna wait until we check it out. Like, psh. All right. Here is the Inimicus didactylus. We also have the Inimicus sinensis. These are my new sea goblins. This is exactly why it's blocked off. I am so pumped. It has been years. I've been trying every year for the last 4 years to have an actual group of sea goblins, and I can't because they're not available. They don't ship. It's too cold. Whatever the case is. Here's the sinensis over here. But yeah, like a little kid in a candy store that I have 2 different species of sea goblins sent to me from Live Aquaria, of course. After 3 weeks of sitting here going, I think we're going to send it out last week. And then last month I had also tried to order the same exact thing and they wouldn't send it out to me either. So it's been terrible for weather. I understand they have been too cold, a lot of snowstorms, the world's going crazy, but even still, I'm happy to say that they're here and they look really nice, and this is a temporary job and we'll get this all figured out. But we're moving in the next 2 to 3 months, so it's all gonna look different anyway. All right, I'm gonna try to speed her on up here for you guys. I've got my 10-gallon community tank with my plants. Not a whole lot of plants. I'm not a big plant guy. I try to learn a little bit the best I can, but it wasn't a topic I really studied growing up. So just a simple live plant tank, really. My emperor tetras, cardinal tetras, rabid snails, black devil spike snails, mystery snails, albino adonis pleco, leopard cactus pleco, mustard spot pleco, and a sultan pleco. And my humpback limia pair. There are baby snails kind of crawling over the place. You can see that one there. But yeah, just a nice, simple, peaceful, calm community. Put things together and watch them get along. Just saying. So, that is the 10-gallon tank. Real simple, real nice. And then last, but definitely not least, because she's big, we've got Susan. I should let you know, Susan is a snake. If you're not comfortable with snakes, I definitely would recommend watching the next, like, 54 seconds. Susan is a 5.5-foot numeral boa. Susan is about 8 years old, and she eats jumbo rats about every 2 months, but she's been on vacation for the last couple months because she's been hibernating, so we gotta pick up that weight. Her water dish is out here. I'm cleaning that, so let me be. But otherwise, yeah, she is pretty cool and unique. After Richard passed away, I decided, I guess, a snake would be okay. I don't know. This guy walked in the pet shop. I've known him for years. He said, hey, give it a shot. Here's a backpack with a snake in it. Let me know how it goes. And he walked out. So she's been mine ever since. But yeah, that's Susan. And she is a big freaking snake. Like, it's definitely not she's a pretty thick snake. But even still, something cool, something unique, and something different to be able to work with. And hopefully she'll have a big old custom cage coming down the line instead of, well, it's still a nice 40-gallon breeder. She still has a lot of room. But still, I'd like a nice big custom cage with the water dish. It's not enough room. So, that is an update on the fish apartment. Susan's cage, the 10-gallon tank, the 90-gallon, which we're going to end up seeing so much evolve out of the 90-gallon. And then we're not going to talk about what's going on in that bag because I like keeping secrets. That's a good idea if you keep a fish room. The Abrani and Gremenia setups, all three of them, which will have their own playlist. The 15-gallon, well, you know, and then the 150 with, of course, Bear and Luna. But that is an update. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I will stay in touch as best as I can, and I'll see you all next time.